are you all? I'm Mona Lisa Joshi and I'm back again with another episode of season 2. This is episode 8 happening, and I have a very special guest with me who is a chemistry professor and also a writer by passion. So let me quickly invite Sonali Raje and let's talk a lot about her book and we will have some candid conversation. Hi Sonali, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for having me on this show, Mona Lisa.
The pleasure is all mine. And tell me, how was your day?
Oh, it's been good so far. It's been a routine day, normal, nothing special. But how was yours?
Yeah, well, weekends, like weekdays, are always busy, many chores and all. But yeah, I was waiting to converse with you because your book seems so interesting. So I wanted to have this conversation.
Thank you, thank you. I've been looking forward to talking to you too.
Okay. So before we start, let me quickly give a small info about you so that the audience who are joining, they can know a little about you and then we will converse. Sonali Raje is a professor of chemistry at Towson. Is it Towson or Towson?
Towson.
It's Towson. Towson University, Maryland. She is an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and a US Fulbright scholar. The rest we will talk during the conversation because that is something interesting you would all love to know. So let's begin with the conversation. Sonali, firstly, tell me that I was going through your profile, and the first question that comes to my mind is that you are a chemistry professor, right? And you have written a mythology, something totally like poles apart. And I really want to know that was it your calling that you wanted to write mythology, or something inspired you?
Actually, I had never thought about writing. I have never written creatively ever in my life. Like the last essay I wrote was in 12th standard for the English exam, for the board exam. And after that, there has been no creative writing at all. I mean, I've written scientific papers as part of my profession, but that's about the only writing I have done. So you rightly said, like, mythology was not even anywhere on my radar. I've been reading mythology. I've read, in terms of reading the original Mahabharata, I've read Rajagopalachari's translation of the epic. There's also the Gita Press Mahabharata. There's like multiple books on the Mahabharata from Draupadi's POV also. There's Palace of Illusions, there's Yagyaseni, there's several books. But I just felt that while all those books are stellar in their own right, none of them addressed the issue of women's empowerment in terms of women helping other women. It was always about their personal struggles and how they stood up to the men in their life, which is definitely one part of empowerment. But this other element of women's friendship, like being nice to each other or being friendly with each other, was, I thought, sorely missing in all the pieces of amazing literature that was already out there. So I just decided, like, why not? Let me just try writing. And so, yeah, I mean, I just started writing, and I was writing just for myself, quite frankly.
So did you do any research apart from reading, like you had to go through a lot of, scriptures and all?
So yes, definitely. When I initially started writing, I had read some of the fictional stories, not the original Mahabharata that was written, but a lot of the fictional stories. But as I kept writing, I knew that there were several incidents I didn't have complete knowledge of. So I did go back to read Rajagopalachari's work, or online there is the literal translation of the Mahabharata, and also the Sanskrit version, including all the 18 parvas, and it's by the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute in Pune. There's a critical edition, which is a compilation of the most well accepted papers and thesis about the Mahabharata. So I used that as my pillar because that is the go-to edition. That is what everybody refers to when they need to refer to the Mahabharata. So I was referring to that. Definitely, it involved a lot of research. Writing is no joke. I mean, especially when you write about the epics, you want to be respectful to the original, but at the same time, you also want to have some creativity, because if you're just writing what has already been written about, there is no point in expecting readers to go out of their way to buy your book or like read about it. So definitely it involved a lot of research for sure.
Wonderful. Okay, now let's go a little back in your journey. Tell me about your early days, like your education and where were you born, and now you're residing in Maryland. So the journey, entire journey from being like India and then to Maryland.
Then to Maryland. So I was born and brought up in Mumbai. My whole life I've spent in the first 24 years of my life I've spent in India. So they'll say desi, jigar se desi. Like that's how I am. Born and it's just India is in my blood. And I went to the US as a graduate student on a F1 visa. I got a like for my PhD, for my for my doctoral dissertation. I went to the US and I did my PhD in biochemistry after getting my master's in India in organic chemistry. So I've been in the US, found my husband there, got married. The same regular story of somebody going to the US and not being like, I mean, it's when I went, I was always like, okay, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back. But once you go there, it's kind of, especially once you get married and you have kids and they grow up there, it's kind of really difficult for them to come back here. So it's my journey is in many ways very typical of like going there and settling abroad. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's my love for everything Indian.
Okay. Interesting. So let's talk about your book, The Empress of Indraprastha. It's a retelling, as you have mentioned, from Draupadi's point of view. I just wanted to know that why did you choose Draupadi only? You could have chosen some other character, or it's only because of the like feminism that you wanted to show?
So definitely part of the reason was the feminism that I wanted to show. She was one of the most she was one of the characters that went through the most in the epic, right? And a lot of she went through a lot of trouble. So having her story as a powerful woman where she is standing up for herself, and because she is the queen, because she is the empress, she can do a lot of good for all the other women around her. So that was the reason why I picked her. There were other characters in my mind like Kunti or Gandhari or others, but books have been written about them also. Books have also been written about Draupadi. But given the force that she was, I just figured like this would be the character that I wanted to focus on. But at the same time, I wanted to make something unique because there are so many retellings about Draupadi already.
Yeah, exactly. So, as you have mentioned that there are going to be some 5-part series of your book, out of which I guess 3 books are already out, right?
Yeah.
And present, you seem to address some of the present issues, as we can see, as you have also mentioned. So, have you tried it deliberately, like, or it's only a retelling? You want to, raise those issues through the modern retelling?
It's interesting you asked that question because when I started writing, that was not the goal. Like, it was not my intention to focus on some societal issue. But I realized as I was writing that that was exactly what I was doing. Especially when I wrote part 1 and 2, I realized that I was automatically putting in like women's empowerment, her helping the other women in her life, the other wives of the Pandavas. I was showing all these feminine interactions which have never been done before. And because I have the entire storyline plotted out in my mind already, I knew that this would be a very good way to use the Mahabharata and portray all the issues that are important in society right now. So in the beginning, that was not my intent, but then I made it very deliberate. Like I'm going to flush out all the societal issues and make sure I put them in all my different series. So while that was not the intent, that's how it became, and that's the deliberate journey going forward.
Okay. And all the other issues are also from Draupadi's point of view only?
All the books are from Draupadi's point of view. So the first book stops at where they get banished to Khanvaprastha. The second book stops when they finish the Rajsuya Yajna, when they establish the empire and when they, finish the big yajna and they're the masters of Indraprasth, literally the masters of the world, because they have all this wealth and everything. And then the third book is about the Vastraharan and how they go into exile. So each part is a different section of her life.
And who is your publisher?
Vishwakarma Publications. They are from Pune. They are a traditional publisher. So it was quite surprising that they actually took the work. But when my commissioning editor was discussing this, typically what happens is they ask you for the draft of like the sample-wise synopsis of the whole thing. I had only written the first two parts when I started approaching my publisher. So I was able to give her the chapter-wise synopsis of part 1 and part 2. But she wanted to know more. So I just told her what was coming in part 3. But after she saw the first two books, they decided to sign me on. So that was quite frankly a stroke of luck, and I would say God's intervention, frankly.
Okay. And surprisingly, I'm also surprised to tell you that the last 3 interviews that I've done with the authors, they were all from Vishwakarma Publications, and so are you.
Oh.
So this is something by luck, I don't know what's really something strange. Anyways, but it's good to know that Vishwakarma Publication is doing such good work. Okay, so this is something interesting that I read in your profile, that you call yourself a self-professed chocoholic and a waterhead. So firstly, you have to explain that how addicted you are actually to chocolate.
Every day, at least a little bit. I mean, I won't. Sometimes, no one's ever asked me this, but this is a very interesting question. So it depends. If I'm reading a very good book, and if I happen to have a bar of chocolate next to me, that can be my dinner, and then I won't eat anything else. Abhi ghar pe koi bacche to dur hai, so I can say all this because I don't want them to hear this. But yeah, it can. I don't like chocolate. Has to be in its specific form. Like I won't eat chocolate. I don't like chocolate cake. I don't like chocolate ice cream.
Okay, it has to be a bar chocolate or something.
Bus. Chocolate in its, like no contamination, no mixing with anything, just pure milk chocolate. That's my level of.
And the second, I want to know that since you have mentioned that you're a Potterhead, and I really wanted to know that why did not you write fantasy instead of epic and mythology, because you're such a big Potterhead.
So yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Fantasy is something that I might indulge in later on. I don't know, not just yet. But there is a lot of fantasy fiction already. Like I'm not much into sci-fi, and magical realism is something that has also been. It's an overkill. So is the Draupadi story. I'm not saying that there isn't much that has not been written about in Draupadi story, but this idea came first about this how Draupadi story could be told in a different way with all this women's empowerment theme. And I just started writing her story because it came first. Like if at some point after I finish this series, if some if some magical realism idea comes into my head, I'll definitely get into that writing also. That's in the future though. Thinking about it, nothing done yet.
Okay. So I want to know that when you started this project in your mind, the Draupadi series you wanted to write, did you discuss it with somebody where you live, and did you get it for beta reading or something? And what was your you teach so many students there, so have they read your book as well?
So I think some of my Indian students have. Some of my American students are curious about this genre and about Indian stories, about Indian epics, because we know a lot about the Western stories. Like we know Shakespeare and Homer and Iliad, and there's all these poems. But the Mahabharata is one of the world's longest poems, and it's not that well known unless it's somebody who is studying religious studies or specifically interested in that genre. It's not very popular in those in Western countries especially. So some of my students do know about it. I'm not sure how many of them have read it, but yeah, I mean, it's something that I am hoping they will hopefully eventually catch on. What was the other part of your question? I think I missed the second part.
I mean, I just wanted to know that when this project came to your mind, have you discussed it with somebody? Were you confident enough that, yeah, this is the thing I want to go ahead with, and rest, like, we'll see that whether the market is good enough?
So funnily enough, I didn't discuss it with anybody actually, and I just started writing because I had this idea in my head. I knew exactly how the book series was going to end, and the one thing that one of the first ideas that came was in book one. There is a scene where Draupadi meets Karn's family, his wives and his son. So that was the scene that came into my head first, and that was what I started writing. Like I hadn't written from the like chapter one se shuru nahi hua tha. It suddenly I wrote it in bits and pieces because I wrote whatever came into my head, and then I found the connections to join the dots. So I didn't discuss it with anyone. I wrote the whole thing, and then I just happened to show it to my daughter. Ki ye pad ke dekho. And she read it and she liked it. But then she said, like, why don't you just try sending it out? I wasn't familiar with anybody in the publishing industry at all. Because as you said before, like I'm a chemistry professor, this was a very far removed thing. So I just wrote it as a hobby. And because it wasn't exactly going to be published, at least in my mind at that time, I hadn't thought कि ये किसी को भेजना है. But after I had finished writing the entire book one, I sent it out to a couple of friends, and my daughter read it, and they were the ones who said, bhej ke dekho. What's the harm in trying to send it out? Because they really liked it.
Okay.
So that's how the process began, and that's how I began looking for publishers. So there was no beta reading, there was no editing besides Vishwakarma's own professional team. That they just took care of everything.
Okay. So we have a question from one of our audience. That's Anamika Kundu. She wants to know that do you think the book was leading you on?
Wow. In some ways, yes, for sure. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the book did lead me on. For sure, it did. I was not there was no goal to write 5 parts. I was only going to stop with 3. But then, sometimes a book writes itself. Like I felt like I was just a tool, and all these ideas that were being literally downloaded in my brain, I just had to like put them on paper or on my computer. So it wrote itself. It led. I was just a tool. I was just the instrument that was writing a story. And as I was writing book 2, I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to finish it in 3 parts. So I just kept writing. So definitely, Anamika, the book did lead me on. In many ways, it wrote itself.
Okay. So do you have a book? Do you want to do some reading?
Which part do you want me to read from? Do you want me to read from book 1 or book 2?
Maybe book 1, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So this is a dialogue between Krishna and Draupadi.
Can you just show the book? Cover page.
This is... Sorry.
Wow, interesting.
This is book 1.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh. So this is book 1. This one here is book 2, where Draupadi is the empress. So this is where they are building the empire. She is completely focused on her role as the queen. And then this one here is book 3. Sorry.
Wow. All the covers are really amazing.
Yeah. This is the warrior avatar of Draupadi. Again, like I said, I wanted to do a theme which had not been done before. So this one starts right at her Swayamvar, where she's getting married and she gets into the Pandav household.
And I have to ask you such voluminous books. I have to ask you one thing, that such voluminous books, 3 series you have written, in how much time? Amazing.
So I started writing in 2018. And I first contacted publishers in like around April 2020.
Okay.
So it took me, like I said, it wasn't the goal to publish. So I was writing for myself. So I wrote that, and then The publishing process itself took some time because from 2020 I started contacting publishers, getting the rejections, the standard process that several authors go through.
Yeah.
And then once you land a publisher, once you sign the contract, you have to go through the whole process of editing and proofreading and all that. So the first book came out in 2022. So from the time the idea was conceived in 2018, it took 4 years for the final product, this one here. So I'll just read the blurb of book one, so you get an idea of what it is. So Draupadi's mother, Maharani Prishti, because again, Draupadi's mother is not something that's a very well-known character. So keeping with my theme of women's empowerment, Maharani Prishti was influential in building her charismatic daughter's strong character as a proponent of human rights and a shrewd politician. Why would such an independent thinker blindly follow something that Ma Kunti said accidentally? Did all the Pandav brothers agree to marry her immediately? Because remember, we have this idea that they automatically agreed to marry her because she was so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And yes, the original Mahabharata does say that they were all smitten by her. Having said that, male consent also is something that matters. So keeping in the theme that, you have to, because there were 6 people involved in that decision. It wasn't just kisi ne keh diya, so everybody's going to do it. So I wanted to make sure that I bring Nakul Sahdev also to the forefront. So what happened when the brilliant Sahdev and the far-sighted strategist Draupadi collectively argued for a partition so that Duryodhan could become the lawful crown prince of Hastinapur? So I've tried to show that they were actually for the partition. The intricate complexities of a dynamic polyamorous marriage, the ageless pursuit of power and politics, a steadfast friendship like no other, a staunch sibling bond that actively promotes inclusivity and gender equality, the timeless tale of an ancient epic documented for the current times, over 5 parts unfold the untold memoirs of an empress. So each book has all her memories, essentially.
Oh, that's really interesting. I hope people will really buy your book, because I think mythology in a modern way of presenting the way you have done the retelling, it's really alluring me as well, that I have to pick a copy soon.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to start the rapid fire. It's really quick questions and answers. So you were saying something.
No, go ahead. I was going to in the third book, she's shown as the warrior, and her interactions, where she's not necessarily dependent on her husbands for anything, but she takes charge of protecting herself and other weak women around her. That was the theme of book 3. But go ahead. Let's begin the rapid fire.
Okay. So favorite book and author?
J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter.
Okay. What are you currently reading?
I'm actually reading the Almanac by Naval Ravikant, I think. Ramaka, I forget the name of the book, but the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Yes, that's the book. Yeah, that's the book.
Which character would like to be from one of your books? I guess it would be obviously Draupadi, but yeah, still, you tell me.
Basically Draupadi, yes, for sure.
Okay, so any other hobby apart from writing?
Reading. I read a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my main ones. Yeah.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Loving, impatient,
Okay.
sensitive.
Nice. Okay, so this is the last one. Do you wish to try your hand in any other genre? Already you have answered, but still, let's ask this. Other genre after this Mahabharata series is over?
Maybe
Apart from fantasy,
magical realism. Yeah.
Magical realism. Okay. So you will base that you will use which backdrop, India or like Maryland or somewhere like in USA?
Probably both. A little bit of both.
Okay, that's nice. So, any advice you want to give to the aspiring authors, writers who are just starting their journey?
So I would say write what you want to write. Like, don't think about whether somebody will read it, whether people will like it. You have to like your work first. You have to be confident in your own writing. Definitely read. not just in the genre that you're writing, but read whatever you can lay your hands on, because you never know where you're going to get your creative ideas. Observe people, just see how interactions happen. Look at when you're reading, look at what makes you excited about reading that particular genre. Look at what you like. Analyze why you like what you like. That'll help you become a better author more than anything else.
Oh. I have to learn a lot from you, because I'm already feeling ashamed that I took 10 years to write one novel and you need 4 years, you've written 3. Wow.
See, I think everybody's journey is different. It's not. There's no.
Still, it's commendable. I have to agree with that. And it was lovely talking to you, Sonali. And I wish you all the very best with all your books and for the future series. And let's keep connecting through books, through reviews, and reading each other.
For sure, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Have a great evening. So this was Sonali Raje I was talking to. She's a chemistry professor and also a writer by passion. And her Draupadi series is out now through Amazon. And also I will drop the link of all of her 3 books. And future series are also going to come. So please follow the author. Please support the author and read her books and review them. Bye all. This is Monalisa Joshi signing off.